Next up on our virtual stable tours of the UK-based consignors at Tattersalls Craven and Ascot breeze up sales, I'm visiting Malcolm Bastard's Wiltshire base, where he is preparing a handful of lots who were originally due to sell at the Craven sale in the spring, but now the breeze takes place on Monday and the sale will be held on Thursday at Park Paddocks in Newmarket, and so the wait is nearly over. Malcolm, great of you to join us. Very kind to take time out of what is a very busy day, I think. First of all, if you could just give us a little bit of a general overview of how you're feeling at the moment in terms of the breeze up sales and the new dates and how the team is.
Well, it's nice that we've got a date, and I mean, it's been difficult for everybody. I personally think that it will benefit a lot of the horses because they've had longer to mature and come to themselves naturally. And I'm hoping now that racing's started, which is absolutely fantastic, that we might end up with some enthusiastic buyers.
Yeah, that'll definitely be the dream. And I think, like you say, seeing some action on the track is definitely getting a few more people enthused about the game again after a turbulent time. You've been breezing horses for many years, and you must have sort of learned and developed your structure along the way and the way in which you train them. But obviously this year has been completely different. So how have you adapted in terms of your sort of the bringing on of such young stock, and how have you had to change?
Well, haven't changed at all, really. I mean, most of the breeze up boys, we do the same thing with them. We treat them as though they're free trainers, and we just take our time with them. And then when we get a little bit close to the sales, we probably take them away to a different gallop and just sharpen them up. When it looked like the sales weren't on, everybody sort of just backed off on their horses and gave them a chance to, you know, mature on their own.
And as someone, like I mentioned before, who's, you know, been through many sales seasons and seen ups and downs and gone through the industry as it's sort of developed over the last few years, what do you hope for this year? It's obviously completely different. That kind of goes without saying, but what are your genuine hopes that how the season might go, the sales season?
Well, my genuine hope is that everybody, including me, but everybody else who's pin-up horses or been sent horses to breeze, do relatively well with them, because the breeze up group as a whole invest about 20 million into horses in Europe alone, you know, and that's no small mean feat. And, you know, even if we can't afford to buy the horses, some of the horses, you know, we're genuine underbidders on a lot of them. So it's quite a big part of the jigsaw for the yearling market.
Yeah, of course. And now that you've got the sales on at this later date, hopefully they'll go well, and then you guys can get re-involved come the autumn and the yearling sales as per a normal year.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
But in terms of your Tattersalls Craven horses that we're going to focus on in this particular call, looking at their pedigrees, it looks like you've got a really nice bunch. Two Kingmans, and we're going to start off with the Kingman Whirly Bird colt that you've got. Just talk us through him. Where did you get him from?
He was offered as a yearling at Book 1 at Tattersalls, and he didn't make his reserve. And the stud sent him to me to prepare. He's done extremely well, really, really well since the yearling, and he goes very nicely. I'm very, very hopeful that we'll do well with him.
And I'm looking at the video of him now currently. You know, he looks like he's got a lovely stride to him, lovely outlook, looks a lot like some of the Kingmans, that well put together type. Does he represent his style well in that sphere?
Well, we've had a lot of Kingmans here, and some of them can be a little bit indifferent, but he's got good depth to his body. He's got a very good temperament. He's got a nice medium action, and he looks like being fairly decent to me at the moment.
And your experience with Kingmans, obviously we've seen them flourish on the track multiple times now. He's really got off to a cracking start as a stallion, kind of very impressive. And you say you've had a fair bit to do with them in the past. We've got two going to the Craven sale. Is he a sire that you're now actively seeking to buy as a yearling?
Yeah, but they're very expensive, aren't they? I mean, his stud fee's gone up considerably. You know, they're probably getting out of the reach of the breeze up range. But obviously, if you could afford to buy one, you would want a Kingman. He be a seriously good sire in the future.
This is Kingman Whirly Bird, looking in magnificent shape, actually. God, he looks lovely.
He's a really nice horse. He's still got a fair bit of growing to do. He's up behind, but he's been training really, really well the last 4 weeks. And he's got a beautiful pedigree. And I hope he goes to a good home and does really well for them.
And then your other Kingman's colt, talk us through him. We've got another video of him here, and he looks slightly different, a bit taller, a bit rangier.
Without a doubt. Again, he was offered at Book 1 and didn't make his reserve. He's a big, tall horse that's filled into his frame over the winter. He's got a beautiful action, and he goes nicely. He's probably going to end up being a 1.25 mile horse next year. Maybe a nice 2-year-old at the end of this year over 7 furlongs or a mile, but a 1.25 mile horse next year. But again, he's got a very good action and a really good temperament.
You mentioned that he would be one for a sort of middle distance in the future. He'd be surely one who the bit of time hasn't been a negative for at all.
Oh, massive plus. I mean, a massive, massive plus. He was nowhere near the finished article as a yearling, and he's starting to look like a proper horse now. So I'm very hopeful for him.
So this is the second Kingman, and actually it's really interesting when you see them on this video live, so to speak. You can really see the difference in the sort of physique between them, but equally as nicer individual.
Yeah, he's a bigger horse. He's probably just over 16 hands. He's got very good depth. He's got a very good action. He's more of a middle distance type of horse, a little bit more staying than the other colt. He hasn't got such a big hip on him when you stand behind him, but he's a nice quality horse with a very good temperament. And again, he's training well.
And we can move on to your Union Rags colt as well, lot 52. Where did he come from?
He came from, I'm not sure if he was Book 4 or Book 5 in Kingman in September last year. And again, he's a very, very nice horse. Beautiful action, very, very good temperament. He's going to be a 7 furlong horse from August or September, and again a 1.25 mile horse next year. But he moves really good with a very nice outlook and a good physical model.
How exciting. Have you had many Union Rags through your stables in the past? Is it a stallion you've done?
I haven't is the answer to that. But after this one, I'd like some more. The dams are half sisters to the dam of 3 Group 1 placed horses. So he's got a nice pedigree as well. But he's a fine type of horse, 15-3, good depth, nice bone. He moves very well. He's got a good strong head on him for a colt. He's a nice horse.
And you touched upon, Malcolm, the first Kingman, still being a touch croup high and still coming up in front and growing. With the Union Rags, is he sort of more of a developed article, would you say?
He's probably a little bit more forward than the Kingman, the Whirly Bird, but you see this colt's up behind as well. And I hope he'll be a nice 2-year-old August or September, but I mean, he's going to be a beautiful 3-year-old as well. He's got some scope.
And you mentioned his fabulous pedigree and buying him from America. Just on that note, how much, in terms of stallion, pedigree and physique, when you're pinhooking, when you're looking at the yearlings, what comes first for you?
Oh, there's a combination of things. I mean, combinations of things, really. I mean, with regard to the model, I obviously like them to have size, scope and strength. I personally, like something with a nice dam line as well, and a horse with a nice easy action. And it's a combination. And then, of course, the price at the end of the day, if you think that you can make a profit on them.
In terms of sort of new stallions, when you get offspring in your yard that you might not have had before, is it a case of you're looking for the good signs of sort of eat, sleep, train, repeat? Is that the basis of it?
I think new stallions are very good. I mean, a lot of people aren't so keen on them, but I think new stallions are very good. If you buy or have a nice model by a new stallion, you've got a proper chance of having a nice horse. As long as the mare's got something to do with it. But I mean, we've got some SHALAAs on the farm here, and they look really, really nice. And we've got a super SHALAA for sale as well.
Yeah, we can move on to the SHALAA actually. What is his story? Where did he come from?
Well, again, he was entered for book one at Tattersalls, and he was backwards. He was unfurnished, and he came to me in November, and he's been a super horse to train. He's got a very good temperament, very light on his feet over the ground, and he shows a nice amount of pace. He's not a 5 furlong horse. He's going to be a 6 furlong or possibly 7 furlong horse, but again, he's a quality horse.
And we're just looking at him walk up and down. He's got a very active walk. Has he got good paces throughout?
Yeah, he has. He's really smooth. He's smooth on the gallop. He's got a good temperament. He's got a very good head carriage, and he uses himself very well. He's a nice type of colt. That's a half brother to Bogart and Blaine. He's a really, really nice horse. He's not as big as the horse you've just previously seen, but he's got a very good action. Again, he's got a very good temperament, and I'm happy with the way that he's training.
Yeah, he looks a lovely individual. And again, in terms of being a finished article, is he still coming along in terms of the developing and the size and the scope, or is he kind of pretty much set now?
He's still up a little bit behind, but he would be further forward than the others with regard to development.
Yeah, he looks a compact chap indeed. And SHALAA, there's been a lot of positive word for him as a stallion already. Have you heard some of that good chat as well?
Yeah, we'd have probably six or seven on the farm here. They've all got very nice temperaments, nice actions. I personally don't think that they're 5 furlong horses. I think that they're a stiff 6 or 7 furlongs. But the ones that we have on the farm are nice. And this is a very, very nice colt with a very good pedigree.
And of those colts that we've talked about, in your mind, who would be the most precocious of them all? They're obviously all got differing pedigrees, and you've pointed out their different physiques, but who would you think is the most precocious out of them?
Oh, blimey, the first one to run, it's difficult to say. I mean, they're all quality horses that are going to be 7 furlong horses. Probably the SHALAA, LAUREN LOUISE would be the first one.
Then not forgetting the HAVANA Gold filly that you've got at the Tattersalls Craven sale. HAVANA Gold seems to throw some lovely, solid, strong offspring. Is she like that?
She's not, but she's got a lot of ability. She's on the leg a little bit. She's got some maturing to do, but she's got an extremely good action, and she's got a lot of speed, but she just needs to fill out into a frame a bit. But she's quite a tidy filly, and I quite like her.
Is she one that from the breeder or from the sale? Sorry.
She's from the breeder.
Right, we've got the video of her as well. She doesn't look a particularly small filly. I don't know if the lad leading her up is either very small himself, but she looks to have plenty of size about her for a filly.
And, she's got plenty of scope about her. Yeah, she'd be nearly 15.3, I would think. Most certainly 15.2.5 anyway. She's not small. She's got a bit more growing to do and a bit more maturing to do, but she's got tons of speed. She did a little bit last weekend, and she was really quick.
Is she someone who's taken the training well?
Very, very straightforward, very good in her mind. She doesn't get buzzy. She's very settled, and she comes back and eats. Very easy to manage. This is the HAVANA Gold filly. She's scopy, 15.2, maybe a little bit more. She moves well. She's just got a little bit more developing to do behind, but she's a nice quality filly.
Yeah, and you said before that she's been professional. She looks a really nice type, actually.
Yeah, very happy with her.
Any finishing touches still to put on, or is it now a case of just keeping them all safe and sound leading up to the sale?
Oh, we'll just do a nice healthy canter most days with them, which is what we normally do with most of them. Well, all of them, in fact, have been away to a different gallop and just have a little spin along. So basically, I'm there. It's just ticking them over until we go up to Newmarket. And
I guess for you guys and the breeze-up industry in general, you'd just be delighted to get underway at this stage.
Absolutely, yeah. See what the future's got in store for us.
Well, look, thanks for showing us around, and thanks for taking us out to look at a few of them. It's so nice to sort of see them on live camera as well, because they all look, when you see them at this angle, you can see the difference in them, but they're all looking in great nick. And best of luck to you for the coming sales. I hope it all goes well. Hopefully we might even see you there. But yeah, they look a fabulous bunch. So thanks very much for talking to us.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Bye-bye.